ring on the other phone. I can't get it back.
There's a setting.
Yeah, but
rings.
none of them is good on this one. I don't know.
Oh, because on the picks, you could pick classical, pop.
Yeah, but not in this phone.
Well, I didn't do
I
it.
didn't get enough.
So,
Where were we?
what was, I just want to ask about, what was the most momentous news event that you remember from your life so far? Is there anything stand out?
Kennedy's assassination.
Yeah, we mentioned
John
that.
Kennedy.
And when the war started, December 7th.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was
very clearly
that day.
because we were in the movies, came home. My mother's like tearing her hair out because
Yeah,
the war
but Willie
started.
was the one that said that we were at war with Japan.
Yeah, but
it didn't mean anything to us at the time.
Did you know that he was going to have to go?
No,
Not then.
Not then, because he was only 17, and then
He was 6 years younger
we
than
had hoped that it would be over, and the 18-year-olds were not drafted at that time, and then a couple of years later, he went in too, but he had a much worse experience than my brother Jack.
Because he
you
went
know,
in
he
from the
was,
Battle of the Bulge.
and he liberated the concentration camps, and that really had tremendous.
Some of the pictures he
effect.
took, he was an amateur photographer.
It was so
And the
ghastly.
same pictures appeared in Life magazine that he took, but the bodies piled up, the horrendous
There's
pictures.
one picture I saw for sure in the Bad Yashem Holocaust Museum. There was one picture we had at home that was blown up, the same picture, that somebody else took. Maybe it was his, who knows, he didn't put his name on it. But it brought back, that was a momentous time, even for somebody as young as we were. You remember that,
Well, we
and the
were
Kennedy
14 or 15.
assassination. And
Impressionable. And
that's
Roosevelt's
what
death.
Yeah,
And
I
Franklin-
remember our teacher in high school crying.
When
that
Roosevelt
day.
died, because he was
And
God
the
to
Heitmans
everybody.
next door, we
were
lived next
happy.
to a German family. They came in and told my mother and father, your president died. It wasn't their president. They were German born. And I remember that
and they
clearly.
belonged-
They seemed like such nice neighbors.
They were nice, they were very good neighbors.
But
that
they
was
really
one thing.
had that feeling about it.
There was one thing
They
about
weren't Americanized.
growing up, the street we grew up, it
Everybody
was a
was a
real
different
UN.
ethnic.
We had Germans next door, we had Irish on the other side, we had
Italians
Italian
across the
across
street.
the way, Irish, Italian, German, and we were the only Jews, except
And
one on the
family
corner.
that was not nearby that way.
No, down
No,
the
of
street.
course,
The
not
Kleins were
not
down the
across the
street.
way as much as the.
But it was amazing how well everybody got along on a street like that, considering very different backgrounds, but the one thing they had in common, they were all immigrants.
Yeah.
And when my mother got sick many years later, ended up in a nursing home, those neighbors
These are the
were
ones
so
that
good
came.
to her. One bought her a television set to watch. She couldn't watch. She wasn't able to do anything. But they came, they would
Yeah,
bring
they were
food
good
for
people.
her, and
But,
the Italian neighbors, they were wonderful.
yeah.
They really,
They
they
were
were a
gone
nice
now.
street,
It was
yeah.
a good street.
Yeah, everybody got
Yeah.
along, even though they were very different families. But they all had one thing in common, they were immigrants and had to work hard.
And
So-
Carol, so cutting to today, now what are your hobbies and interests? Like, what are your favorite things to do?
No, the thing I like most to do is sit and read more than anything. I love to play bridge and love to get out and socialize with friends, and we have a lot of people we like to see all the time, and that's, at this point in life, you have to enjoy yourself. You've spent a long time getting to where this is. I appreciate it. I think we've been very lucky to be able to live here in Florida, live in Boston, travel as much as we want if we choose. And I just enjoy just being alive, being alive still.
Life is good in Florida. Yeah,
Anywhere.
everybody enjoys living
Yeah.
down here.
What do you like to do?
Well, basically the same things. I don't have as many friends. We don't, have a different social life in that sense, but it doesn't bother us. We do a lot of traveling. We've done travel, met a lot of very interesting people traveling through business and through other
We've always done a
items.
lot of traveling.
But,
Now
one time
I'm
you said
happy.
I should rent a bed in a hotel because we were
Yeah,
always going.
sell the house and rent a hotel room.
Which we probably should have done in retrospect. But, it's just,
that
we've
was a
had a
joke.
good life. We've been lucky to be together for so many years and enjoy the same people and the same things. and have a wonderful family. And
Tell me about your
we do
grandchildren.
appreciate it.
And Carol, your grandchildren.
Well, I have 2 blood grandchildren who I adore, and I have 6 other grandchildren who I consider part of my life.
Yeah, 'cause they
And
were
they
born
were all
with you.
born during the time I was married to Dick and his wife was gone. So they're mine, and they're terrific kids, every single one of them. They're not a dud among them. They're really terrific, and I think that's what keeps you going in life as you get older. You love to see how they're growing up, and what they're doing with their lives, and how they get along with each other and with you, and the love you feel from them, because you accept them for whatever they are.
Grandchildren are a plus in your life.
Yeah.
It's fun to have them. And the best part is they come to visit,
come,
we
and
love
then
it,
they
and
go-
then they even go home and have to deal with
We don't have to bring them
nitty
up
gritty.
day to day.
Yeah, but so that's what's nice, you can see in retrospect what you would have done before they came, you
Yeah,
know.
like if I could only bring my family up again, I would treat them as grandchildren.
Children. Yeah, that's a
I think it
plus.
would have been
And it's,
easier.
Yeah, and, we're very grateful for a lot of things we've had in our lives. I can't look back and say I was sorry about
Fortunately,
anything. We've suffered ups and downs throughout our life.
but
Lots of losses of
everybody
people
does.
we love.
Everybody has
And
that.
that's it, everybody goes through it, but it's never easy, never easy. to
Oh,
lose
you
what
have
you
a lot
love.
of things that people wonder how you got through that, or how do you get through this. You just
But,
do.
you have to. You have
What
to
was the
look
hardest-
at
what
it.
was the hardest loss?
My hardest loss was losing Dick.
Yeah,
And then, I don't think to this day I ever really got over it.
right.
And, but I've been very lucky. I had very impressive men in my life. And I've been lucky again with Mort. Nobody is nicer than he can be. He's a terrific man. I mean, we're happy together. But I think the life I spent with Dick was probably the most interesting part of my life, and the most joyful, and the most, just we did everything together. And we met each other at the right age.
Right.
You know, just 48 years old. Our children were grown. It was just the 2 of us to enjoy, and we got along extremely well. And he was very, very good to me. And when he got sick, that took me, never would have expected it. Never been sick the whole time we were married. But that's another story. So, brain tumors are not fun to live through.
No.
That was the hardest part in the year following that. But, things change again. You accept whatever happens to you, and you go on. And,
What was your hardest loss?
Well, in retrospect, everybody who was close to us, Gertie was a hard loss. Gertie.
yeah. Oh, the family losses.
Yeah,
is
family
something
loss. I
else.
mean, we've been fortunate in ourselves that we didn't have a
Yeah.
personal thing, and Daddy didn't. I mean, but he lost his father very young. I mean, all these things that happen in life. But we
Yeah, but
feel
your
general
family-
we have each
family,
other, and
yeah.
that's what really matters.
The family losses are always
Always
painful.
hard.
You always have
And
to.
every time another cousin dies, it's sort of like a branch falling off a tree,
Yeah.
or a flower falling down.
Is there
that's-
anything that stands out as the happiest time of your life?
Yeah,
Or
the year I got married, I thought was the happiest year of my life. Everything we did that year was, and even finding out I was pregnant right away, that didn't bother me. Because I thought I was living in dreamland, you have a baby and you take care of it and it grows and leaves. But we did a lot of travel because Daddy fought the Battle of the French Riviera instead of the Korean War. We got married, he was supposed to go to Korea. But fortunately, I said I brought him luck, his orders changed, and I followed him overseas for 4.5 months. And there was nothing more fun than that, with 5 other wives. That was, the tragedy of the Bennington blowing up, because I traveled with 6 wives, and 3 of them lost their husbands in that tragedy. And we were closer than brothers and sisters. One couple, we even shared a bedroom because they didn't have motels in us, the curtain between us. So that was tough, because it was the first loss that I realized that life is, very
tenuous.
brittle. Yeah. And attending the funeral from Uncle Bob's wedding, we had to go Bob and Joan got married on Memorial Day weekend. The tragedy was May 26th. And Daddy had the honor, whatever you call it, to escort the closest friend you had who was killed in the explosion, and that was Terry Bryan. And then so we had to go from the wedding, I had to change clothes to go down to New Jersey, lower New Jersey, near Philadelphia. And his wife was pregnant at the time because she was so happy. When I traveled with them, I was pregnant. She was so excited because she said, oh, we want a baby too. And sure enough, she came home, she became pregnant. And she was 4 months pregnant when this happened. And I'll never forget, it was my first experience with a funeral of a contemporary. But this was a Christian funeral. And I'd only experienced an aunt's death or an uncle, whatever. And the quiet and the composure, and his mother, Terry's mother, gave the eulogy at the wedding, at the funeral. And I couldn't get over that because I pictured our family, you know, everybody's hysterical, everybody's crying. She was a high school French teacher and gave the eulogy. And to this day, I remember that talk. And his wife, when I saw her, I was dreading meeting her because I started crying, you know, all that, couldn't control myself. His wife is wearing a light blue dress like this sofa, smiles, and she said, Terry would have liked me in this dress. And the only thing that I'm so happy about is I had
They
this
grieve
baby.
quietly.
Yeah, she had his
It isn't that
baby.
they don't feel it. They
Oh, yeah.
show
No,
it
she
in a
broke
different-
down.
They don't show it openly.
And Carol,
When the
anything
baby was born. she
stand out as the happiest time of your life, or is nothing in particular?
Oh, and when my children were born, I was always very excited about the kids and being a mother.
Yeah, that
And,
was very
and
exciting.
The times were good and bad, but when I look at it on the whole, they were so much more good than bad. But the times were good. The happiest times was with Vic, because we didn't have cumbersome problems.
Right.
And so in those 20 years were years that I still dwell on. And yet I remember the first 25 years, 27 years with Mike, and since Mike died, I remember all the good things that happened between us.
Right.
Without him, I wouldn't be having the kind of life I have now. He opened up doors, and when you're a physician, people want to know you, and they admire you for what you do. And you're always accepted in every social situation. We moved into a social world that was never part of the social world I grew up.
Yeah, but
And
everybody did in the social scale.
Yeah, but
we all
it's
went higher than
different.
what we-
It's different.
Well, that's
in
true with physicians,
things that
it's
you.
an automatic.
It's an automatic in with everything. And wherever you move, and we moved a lot of times. I moved to 14 different times. And wherever you go, you're accepted. You know, they want to get to know who you are. You don't have any trouble fitting into a community that you don't know anybody. You're immediately brought
Well, you can
around
do
to
that,
people.
and the same thing, you join a temple.